Hello, Bulls Nation. Hello. How are you? Welcome to CHGO Bulls Postgame presented by PointsBet. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get your 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. I'm Matt on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. That's Big Dave on Twitter at BowBWL Sports. Our friend Will Gottlieb will join us later on in tonight's postgame after he hears from Billy and the Bulls in postgame press conferences. We are collectively at CHGO_Bulls on Twitter. Yeah, clearly, you can already tell how upset I am because I just forgot what our Twitter handle is.
Rage.
I am sorry. Except I'm not sorry.
Anytime he starts something with that.
That was pathetic.
It's not good. It's not good.
That was pathetic. I am the Knicks. The Knicks. What if I told you, 30 for 30, what if I told you that DeMar DeRozan got the Bulls 37 points?
Yeah.
That Zach LaVine got the Bulls 27 points.
Yes.
That the Knicks missed 14 free throws.
Shut up.
Yeah. And the Bulls still somehow found a way to lose that game.
I would say that happened. That's what I would say. No, it was a bad loss. It really was. It was a terrible loss right there. It's a lot to be upset about. I'm sure you'll get into a ton of it. Let me get into one of them for you. I was not pleased with the coaching. I had an issue with that.
Get him.
I had an issue with the coaching. I did.
Get him.
I had an issue with the sticking with the small ball line. Remember I talked about a lot when they got Billy Donovan, how one of the things I didn't like about him when he's kind of just sticks with a thing. He just does not try anything. I hadn't seen him really do that, you know what I'm saying, this year. In this game, he really committed to that small ball kind of lineup against the Knicks, who are not small, but he really committed to that lineup. And, I mean, we saw it wasn't working, right? You saw it didn't go well for them. They were getting out-rebounded. I'm sure you'll tell me the numbers as far as the rebounds were concerned, but the offensive rebounders were absolutely killing them. Yeah. And we saw that. And then you see Caruso, he fouls out. But it wasn't just because he was guarding the guards. He was guarding Julius Randle. He was guarding some of everybody because, he's not big. So he was struggling with that. But, man, they were coming out of timeouts and still turning the ball over. There weren't any real plays I was looking at that felt like it was being run out there. I didn't like the coaching performance, man. That's just how I felt. I didn't like it.
You mentioned the boards. 13 offensive rebounds for the Knicks, translating to 20 second-chance points. The Knicks also had 16 points off of those Bulls turnovers, as you mentioned, being an issue.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I thought that this was an oddly coached game. And oddly is just a word I use to be nicer.
Yes. To keep me sitting here and not moving.
I mean, P. Will and Javonte Green combined for 27 minutes.
Yo, that's crazy.
Tristan played 14.
That's his usual.
And any time the Bulls were looking after that gross run in the second quarter that got them down in the hole after being up for the first quarter and a half, that they were going to finally put their foot on this game and take control of this game. A long rebound on a long miss.
Yes.
The Bulls don't corral the rebound, and the Knicks bury a 3 on the second chance possession.
It happened all game long. You saw it all game long happen that way for this team. And like you said, you pointed out Javonte and Patrick Williams. The other one I'm also concerned with is Derrick Jones Jr. Like, what happened? Like, I haven't seen him play. And he teases, talking about, we'd like to try him at center again and kind of see that lineup. I just haven't seen him out there. Like, I thought I saw him. I was seeing images in my mind of him being out there on the floor. That's how bad I wanted him out there, man. But I just didn't understand some of the decisions that were being made as far as the lineups were concerned. And I haven't, for a couple games, I haven't, remember when Vooch would get hot? And then we wouldn't see him. And then he took him out, I wouldn't see him. We definitely talked about that during that Milwaukee game where he was the only one scoring, and then he took off the court, and then they went on an 85-2 run.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this tonight, and I'm seeing the small ball, the 4 guards, and the center that he likes and enjoys running. And they weren't having that type of success because, 1, the Knicks were hitting their shots, and 2, they were just going to the paint. Like, I want to be mad, and call it about the refs and everything like that, but – they shot what? How many free throws did they shoot?
They 35?
shot 35. 35 free throws were shot by the Knicks tonight. 35. And the Bulls shot 33. And that's why I couldn't be upset. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at it, And I'm like, well, it wasn't that big of a discrepancy right there. And then I remember the Knicks were going to the bucket. Mm-hmm. And then the Knicks were getting offensive rebounds and getting fouled on the putbacks. So that's how they were getting to the line, in those things. Of course, there was some ticky-tack fouls. We know that and things like that. But, man, dude, everybody on the Knicks who played outside of one person shot a free throw. Every single one of them, outside of one person, shot a free throw, man. I can't say the same for the Bulls. I mean, Ayo didn't, Caruso didn't, Tristan didn't, and Pat Will didn't. But it was so weird, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, why are you sticking with this? It was something going on for me where I'm just like, we're going to stick with this 4-guard lineup. That isn't working because you need to get the ball. You need the rebounding. That's how the Knicks really put the game away in the third quarter. Yeah. That's how they started putting it away. But yeah, it was really strange to me. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan and Zach for bringing us back and getting us close. But man, dude, it wasn't working. And I'll get into the other thing later. But please.
Big Dave, would you say that Billy was too beholden tonight?
He was too beholden.
Usually not your criticism.
It's what I've been in love with all season long. Why am I the one yelling, man? This is Matt's thing. He should be the one up here yelling right now.
Speaking of which, we have some people in the comments guessing rather. Here we go.
Guessing? What are they guessing? Oh, Peck's anger meter. Oh, okay. All right. So remember, the first time we did this, it was a 4.9.
Yeah, Will thought it was an 11, but it was a 4.9. And that was after we lost to the Jazz.
I believe.
Yeah.
Was it the Jazz? I don't remember who the loss was.
Okay.
Or
anyways.
the Bucks or someone. But the next game, it was 7.2.
This one is
in a victory.
It's taken a while to calculate here.
And it's taken a while. Oh, it's in the red. Oh, man, a 9.5. That is terrifying for a human like myself who has to sit next to this volcanic ball of rage right about now.
You see how calm I am on the surface right now?
That's not good. That's not good.
I'm at a 9.5 in here and in here. I'm too mad to speak right now. So I'll let Matthew speak for me.
Sure.
Shout out Matthew Ray with our super chat of the evening. Anybody else throw some super chats in there?
Come on through.
This team made me throw my hat across the room. I also throw my hat across the room. Yes, I am with you, Matthew. By far the most frustrating Bulls team I've ever had to watch. Wow.
Whoa.
We know how good they can be, but suddenly they consistently only suck.
I want to be with y'all. Toss it back. Hey, I want to be with you.
I throw it again.
Why won't they let me be with them, Matt? Why do they do that? I want to be there. I want to be angry with that. But then they do go there, and then I got to get out the car. Like, but okay, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Yes, I understand. Frustrating and bad. Please.
I guess it's a question of what would you prefer? Would you prefer to be frustrated watching a team that has 18 wins and 82 tries?
Yeah.
Or frustrated watching a team like this who showed us in the first half of the season that they can be a winning team, as in win more games than you lose. Mm-hmm. And now, as we are hitting the home stretch, even as we get healthier and get player upon player back from injury, we go out and lose to the lowly, freaking, stinking, awful, terrible, no good, horrible Knicks.
4-11 in their last 15 games.
That's garbage. Yeah. That's hot garbage.
Not good.
We're going to the play-in tourney, y'all. It's happening.
No, we're not.
Yep.
We're going to the playoffs.
Joey, can we get the updated conference standings after tonight's action? Because guess what, y'all?
Clearly we're in 10th.
The Cavs
we're in 5th.
won a close one against Orlando.
Still up on
And Toronto pulled out a win against red-hot Boston in OT.
And still up on them, too.
We are now tied record-wise with Toronto. Do have the tiebreaker.
Holding on, baby.
1 game ahead of Cleveland, who is the top seed of the play-in tourney. We do have the tiebreaker over them as well.
Hold on.
But we just lost collectively 2 games of ground with losing to the Knicks.
Is that what's really doing it for you? Is the fact that it was the New York Knicks that this L
the team that's 5 games back of the last spot in the play-in that should be packing it in by now, who, by the way, had a combined 3 of 19 night from Randall and Fournier, and we still found a way to lose to them?
Wow.
What on earth, Bulls?
That is terrible. 12 of 35 the Knicks were from the 3, shooting 34%. The Bulls from 3, Matt, do you know this one?
5 of 20-something?
6 of 23.
Oh, my apologies. I shortchanged him one.
Shortchanged the 3. I'm just going to tell you that's 26%. That's not good.
What? What did we just watch?
Yeah, show them the meter again. I don't think they saw it. I don't think they saw it, man. Yeah, that's not good, man. But to answer your question, yeah, I'd rather take this than an 18-win season. I'd rather take this right now. I'd rather be this. Yes, put me all in this right now. And don't make me see, I know you don't want to be positive, but I'm going to tell you the truth then. The Bulls are still 5th. The Bulls on the tiebreaker. We got a game coming up against Washington tomorrow. We get to do this again. And we get that win, we stay exactly where we are. That's how I look at it. That's my way of looking at things because that's how I'm going to do. But, yes, I understand the rage, and I definitely understand the frustration. And all this right here, this is Bull Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it. Drink it. Oh, let it go down because it ain't going down smooth. No, it's not, Joey. Not going down smooth at all. That burns. It burns deep. Deep burn.
An insightful comment from Miguel in the comments. Two things I've noticed. Lonzo really made this team go on both ends.
Correct.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely right.
And again, as I said, we got pieces back, but there is a very important piece missing.
Yeah.
More importantly, the second part of Miguel's comment, the bench is just terrible, especially when Kobe can't score.
Ooh.
Kobe White played 21 minutes tonight.
Can we get into that?
And oh dear God.
That was horrible. Listen.
Oh dear God.
That was a terrible
and you and I talked about this as the trade deadline approached,
Sure.
came and went, and we passed it, and that Kobe White was still here. When a lot of Bulls fans were saying maybe that's a trade piece that AK and Eversley can use, are planning to use, especially maybe to add another wing to this team, a guy who can, play multiple positions on the defensive end and knock down some threes because this team needs some shooting.
Yes.
Or a big to add to that front court depth.
All true.
Kobe stayed, and I think one of the things we talked about is a big reason being why he stayed is that Alex and Lonzo were both out.
Correct.
And needing some kind of punch off your bench to score because the Bulls bench unit was really struggling to produce anything. And Kobe could, despite being streaky and hot and cold, at least when he is hot, give you a 15 to 20-point game off the bench.
True.
This last stretch of games we've seen from Kobe,
he's done it once.
I am at a loss. And critical mistakes and critical moments when the Bulls were making a comeback and he had that transition pass that was behind Io on the break that was just like, why are you making that pass? I have 99% out of faith in Kobe White.
99, he's gone, baby. It was terrible. Honestly, it was a horrible game. And you look at it and you're like, for a bench, and I'm just saying, if you're looking at it from a bench side, you're like, oh, 6.7 rebounds. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. No. 0 of 5. He is not out there for that. I don't care that he's grabbing rebounds. It's not what I'm out there for with my man Kobe White. He has to score. He must put the ball into the bucket at a consistent level and a consistent basis. 0 of 5 from the three-point line. 0 of 5, bro. No, man. 2 of 9 shooting. And I mean, the shots weren't good. And then some of the turnovers that he had, man. I believe he only had 2 turnovers. He only had 2 turnovers, man. But those 2 were just really bad. The one where he threw it to Io, and he kind of threw it behind Io.
I'm saying.
And I was like, man, dude, that's not good. It was a really bad game. And he kept playing. He left them in, and he was cool defensively, and he grabbed rebounds, but they needed the 3. That one play where they actually, remember that play in the fourth? It was ran so perfectly. DeMar went, got inside, kicked it over to Tristan right in the middle. Tristan stopped, looked, saw Kobe wide open on that elbow for that 3. Kicked it right to him. I jumped out of my seat. I got up. I was like, this is it. Here it is. This is the one we need. I forget everything you did in the first 3 quarters. Put that one into the bucket. Clang.
Hello,
and then what they do?
My old friend.
They went right back down, scored. That's the frustrating part about it. When the opportunity presented itself, it not coming through on that is what's frustrating. We saw them do that in Sacramento. I remember them being down 90-89 after making that comeback. Kicked it to him for that wide open 3. Couldn't hit it, man. That's the frustrating thing for me. He's in there to score, and he's not doing that at a high clip. And that's what's frustrating. Really
Leah Sepulveda said, I hope Kobe improves the game with the games left so he's a more valuable trade asset this offseason. He's done as a Bull. That could have been another element to why he stayed, is that maybe Acme were interested in shopping Kobe for something at the deadline and didn't really get a whole lot of offers sniffing around for Kobe. I'm just, pontificating there. I'm just speculating, but certainly what we've seen from him recently does not scream trade asset.
I hear what you're saying. And also Patrick Williams. And I'm not, and you know what? It's hard for me to punch Patrick Williams and get on Patrick Williams because he's getting back and acclimated and everything. But I tell you what.
You can punch me if you want.
I would never do
just
that.
So I feel something. I'm numb right now.
That means I'm going to give you a hug. That's what that means. I'm going to conquer that pain with this love, Matt. You know it. You know it's coming.
I'm seriously so close to crying, Dave.
Well, this is why I'm going to hug you. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here, people. This is exactly why I exist right here. This is why Matt always says, never leave me, Dave. This is why. These moments right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is why.
I'd be lost without you, man.
Oh, man, dude. But yet Patrick Williams cannot go out there and put up the Tony Snell, Chris Dunn stat line.
Dude.
Put up the binary code on him, man. He didn't even take a shot, bro.
Mark K is in the comments saying that P. Will's doing his best Patrick Williams impression. Sorry. P. Will's doing his best.
Holding that one.
His best Snell impression. His best Snell impression. And then Matthew Ray, also another super chat. Thank you.
Hey, Matthew Ray, the double super chat.
Kobe, not a true point guard or a true shooter or defender or playmaker or really anything.
Oh, Matthew Ray going in on Kobe.
Clean in, man.
I
like your Kendrick picture, too, by the way.
I can't disagree with anything he just said.
Yo, man, it was tough, man, because it's tough when I can point things directly back. You know what I'm saying, to a player. I don't like doing that because, you lose a team, you win as a team kind of thing. But there are certain plays I can just point directly back that were just real momentum killers. That missed three was one, and that turnover with Ayo was another.
Absolutely brutal.
Those were tough, man. Those were really tough.
Look, the Bulls tried repeatedly in the fourth quarter to make a big enough run to get over that hump, and they had two possessions, not consecutive, but I think like with maybe one in between, late in the fourth quarter where they had the ball and were down one, and they both ended in DeMar, good look, but miss, right?
Yeah.
There were so many possessions down the stretch of that fourth quarter of DeMar or Zach going hero ball, playing ISO.
They did.
And it's that sort of like devil's question of DeMar ISO and the occasional Zach drive ISO helped you get closer and close that gap as you were fighting like hell in the fourth quarter. But then also it's like you saw it at least one too many times and it like was stagnant. And when they go ISO, everyone's standing around watching and you don't have anybody moving off the ball.
Yeah.
The Bulls weren't really running any pick and roll action in the fourth quarter at all. It was just DeMar, I go, Zach, I go.
Yeah.
And it's predictable to guard for one thing, and either DeMar has a Herculean mid-range, success, including an and one, which he did again tonight. We've seen that all season long.
Yes, he did.
And for so long this season, that is what led the Bulls to victory late in close games. But it's not working anymore. So do something different.
Dude, DeMar had 37, 6, and 7. That's dumb. All right, he put up an incredible monster game. Hit his only three, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. Crazy game he put up. So that's insane. Zach, 27, 4, and 3. Zach was more noticeable in his first half than he was the second. He got noticeable in that fourth quarter, when he came in, but he was much more noticeable with what he was doing in that first half. But he also got to the line. I talked about it in the pregame. He got to the line 10 times, 9 out of 10 from the foul line. And then the only other person you're starting lineup who shoots free throw is Vooch, went 4 or 5. It had that Vooch game, 16 points, 13 rebounds. But Dosunmu, he had his 10 points, and we grew frustrated on some plays just because he wasn't attempting a three-point shot. I think he should have at least 4 a game, personally. I think he should take at least four threes a game for Ayo, man. He ended up taking 5, and I think that's what it should be, honestly. But he had a couple early on where he just really passed up. Well, I thought it was within rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to take that shot to keep the rhythm of that side of the court, you know what I'm saying, moving and right. I don't care if you miss it. It's about the rhythm of it, because once you don't do that, everybody was doing like this. It was like one of those inflatable hand things. Everybody just, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
And they get lost, and here comes a turnover, and and then you see them get messed up on that way, man. But, yeah, man, that was a tough one. Go ahead. What's up?
That's the thing that succeeded the most at cheering me up tonight was you going like this.
Inflatables,
We
man.
actually got another super chat. Speaking
Another
of,
super chat
from Joey.
Joey super chat.
It says, Big Dave, please give Matt a hug. What if I don't
will.
want a hug right now?
Yeah, actually, you know
What
what?
if I need to let my rage burn off in my own personal safe bubble
That's fine.
where no one's
That's
touching
fine.
me and poking me and
Exactly,
prodding me?
Joey.
You
And
wait.
I just let the rage fester within me.
Big
has to
Dave
be
will wait
organic.
to give you a hug so that he does not mess up the mics.
No, that's going to happen whether I hug him or not. Remember the last time when he messed up the mics? He was happy.
You guys are slamming so much on the chairs that they're already pretty messed up. So.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
Sorry
I won't
about
slam.
your precious microphones.
The things you need to hear us. Sorry about that. But no, you can't force the
I'm
hug.
so freaking pissed off right now, man.
See, you got to let it burn, Joe. I've been around Matt long enough to know when and where to get in there. This ain't the time right now. He got to have this. We
We got another super chat. This one from Dupes saying, legit question.
Sure.
How far does this collapse go before Billy's seat is hot?
For his seat is hot. Okay.
We were talking about Tibbs' hot seat before during pregame,
Yeah, we did.
and Billy just lost to Tibbs.
You see what Tibbs had to do to get his seat hot, though, right? His came because, of losing all season.
I mean,
That's an
Tibbs is
all-season
following
loss.
up a 4-seed season with a probably 11th and missing the play-in season.
That gets your seat hot.
That gets your seat hot.
Yeah.
Going from year 1 to year 2 and going from 11th seed to maybe 5th or God forbid 7th.
That doesn't get your seat hot.
I don't know if it gets your seat hot. But again, what did we open the show with? Big Dave saying, I have some serious issues with the coaching tonight. And I agree with him pretty much across the board on that. Then there's also what we saw late in this game when Alex Caruso was called for a at least questionable foul late in a one-possession game that ended up being his 6th foul.
Yeah.
And Billy does not challenge that.
Yeah.
He says, all right, Caruso, tough night. Have a seat. Doesn't challenge it. The Bulls have been struggling to get stops as it is all night. Maybe you challenge that to try and save Caruso from a 6th foul.
Right.
Instead, he waits and uses it on that DeMar offensive foul that did not get overturned.
Which we knew wasn't going to get overturned.
And then the other thing, and Will brought this up, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, is that maybe go with the Hacker strategy.
Hacker Robinson.
The guy's like a 12% free throw shooter. You're down by 1 with less than a minute to go, and you need a stop. And instead of that, what do you get? You get a corner 3 on a bad rotation on defense.
Yes.
4-point deficit, game essentially over.
And not just a corner 3 from the dude who was killing you all day from the 3-point line.
I mean, how does that happen, man?
Man, I don't know, but it sure happened. Burks, man, he was on fire from 3, 5 of 10 from the 3-point line. That's 50% for all you math guys out there. But man, dude, that kind of stuff is tough because I'm just looking at that and what you're supposed to do. I'm just talking about the coaching, excuse me. I'm talking about the coaching. You're looking at it and okay, this guy shouldn't be open. You know what I mean? If anybody shouldn't be open, it should be Burks. Burks is the one who we can't leave off of. He's the one they have to stay down on. And it just didn't happen that way. And the Hacker Robinson is a great point too, because the person who I saw first do that was Vooch.
Hacker anybody. The Knicks collectively missed 14 free throws tonight.
But the person you first saw do that was Vooch. As soon as Robinson got the ball inside, Vooch just immediately hacked him, fouled him. He missed both. The Bulls get it and go down and score and cut the lead to 3. So, it can work. It's a thing that can work. And, I didn't like the coaching, man. I really didn't like it tonight. I didn't.
Donald, I see your comment. No. Sir, no. Get that out of here. Really? It's one thing for Bulls fans to be suggesting a replacing Billy Donovan after
he's
not
your
even
favorite coach.
What?
He suggested your favorite coach.
Well, what do you mean by favorite?
By you purely hate him and don't want him to be your coach. Well, yes, I'm not going against your rage. Sir.
Not Neuralizer coach.
No, not Neuralizer coach. No,
but another coach who is very much on my Matt don't like list.
Yes, which is a long list, by the way. But yes,
but that dude's pretty damn near the top of it. That guy is your suggestion? No.
Mark K in the comments. Billy Hader's looking for a new scapegoat. Tired of blaming Vooch and looking for someone new. Start blaming your best player's defensive effort.
Ooh.
Mark is going in.
Are you talking about DeMar or Zach? Because they're both guilty tonight.
Yeah.
Let us know, Mark, in the comments.
Break them down, man. But yeah, I didn't like it. Regardless of what that is, I still didn't like it. But you're right. That defensive effort, it was not good either. Absolutely not good. No, it was not. Not at all. But the lineups that were run out there, I just wasn't a fan of. And I did not like them, man. I did not like how he would not go to anything differently. He just continued to stick with that. And it wasn't working. And he stuck with it. And there you go.
I do not like them, Sam. I am. Big Dave, tell the people about PointsBet.
See, he couldn't even throw it to me nice.
Nope.
Because Matt is just not in that nice mood. But you know who's in a nice mood all the time while he picks up his hat so he can throw it again? It's me. The best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app and use the code CHGO when you sign up. And if you do that, all right now, you'll get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But that's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of that Rev content, and you'll even get a free T-shirt of your choice from that CHGO locker that you can use to wipe your tears after watching this game tonight. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free T-shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. And also introducing PointsBet new feature, live college basketball same game parlay. For the first time ever, you can build the perfect live same game parlay, and you can do that only with PointsBet. You can combine your favorite bets anytime during the game, and if you want more,
because I know you do,
you can also boost your live same game parlays. You can watch live, parlay live, boost live, all with PointsBet. And if you're here in Illinois, you can stay inside, because why is it this cold outside? I don't know. It's insane. But you can stay inside now, and you can download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. And also, PointsBet Match Madness, y'all. All users can earn up to $100 in free bets. And during each round, just place a $50 pregame wager and get a free $5, $10, $15, $20 live bet to be used for that round. So what are you waiting for? Because once the game starts, you don't just bet. Should I pass this to Matt? I'm a little scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. Matt, what do? You
live your bet life.
Oh, with PointsBet. Hit me, Joey, one time.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
That's right.
That's something I live by.
It's a good point.
That's something I live by.
It's a good point.
I say that often. It's stitched on my back.
We got another super chat. Our pal Salim saying, thank you, Mark, referring to Mark K's comment.
Hey.
Burks going off tonight was a lot on Zach. Yeah. I mean, you absolutely can point a finger of blame at Zach and DeMar on the defensive end tonight. You can. There's 2 of them.
There's 2 right there.
There's 2 fingers of blame.
There's 2 points. Yep,
right there.
Uh-huh.
When you have like dynamic elite offensive talents in the NBA who are scrubs on defense, they get a pass or don't depending on the team's success.
Correct.
When the Bulls were winning, we were all giving Zach and DeMar a pass on defense.
All facts.
Because they were all stars. Mm-hmm. One of them a starter. Mm-hmm. One of them one spot shy among East guards.
Correct.
Of also being a starter.
Correct.
For the all-star team. Yeah. And the Bulls record was what it was. You get a pass. This slide that we're on, a lot of it has to do with execution and effort, that two-headed monster on the defensive end. The reason that the Bulls lost this game is because they were trying like hell to once again eliminate a fourth-quarter deficit, playing from behind and needing hero moments from DeMar and Zach. How did they get there? Sloppy, careless basketball in the first half, when the Bulls had 10 turnovers at halftime, and playing dog shit effort defense for 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, really. And we wonder how they end up here. Do they wonder how they end up there? Because they should freaking know by now.
Oh, Matt.
Are you going to toss the hat again?
I'm still at a 9.5. There it is. Thank you, Joey. Man, how come this is the one thing Joey be on immediately? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be like, hey, Joey, not that graphic, put the other one up. I be pointing at Joey. He don't have a sound effect. He up here singing his own sound effects. But, man, when it comes to that anger meter, Joey is on point with the anger, and I appreciate it.
That's my baby.
I think Joey gets some sick, twisted joy out of reminding everyone just how pissed off I am.
I think a lot of people get that, Matt.
I just don't think people watching, I think they can understand how angry you are.
Yes.
But it's a different, it's tangibly different when you're in this room. You feel it.
It's like watching a game live. It's different when you experience it live, y'all. It's different.
Greg said the same thing to me earlier tonight.
Oh, yeah?
So, we got our Blackhawks crew hanging out with us tonight, which, by the way, stick around for Blackhawks post-game.
Yes.
But Greg was like,
I know Jason.
I feel like some people might actually want to watch Angry Matt After Loss as opposed to Happy Matt. And I was like, I've made that bet for myself over the years. I don't prefer it.
He doesn't.
I'm really freaking angry right now.
He's not happy with that performance, man. And plus, again, it came against the New York Knicks, a team that he loathes. He's not a fan of those New York Knickerbockers. You are not.
Sure aren't.
Not a fan of Madison
I
Square.
didn't even get to give an emotional heart through the TV screen hug to Taj tonight. He was at DNP.
He wasn't. He wasn't there.
You can't even give me a Taj moment.
Oh, no Taji Wu. No Taji Wu moment. Yeah, it was a tough game.
I got nothing left to live for.
Oh. See, Joey, this is when I start considering hugs at these moments. You know what I'm saying? When he starts using those kind of phrases and words, that's when I start considering it right there.
You know what?
You'll be all right.
I got ahead of myself. I do have something to live for.
Okay.
When all else fails, when the Today Bulls are breaking our hearts and letting us down,
Yes.
we go to the 90s Bulls.
Yes!
Let's do it. We didn't have time for this in pregame, so let's get to it now.
Look at it!
Today, March 28th, all the way back in the late 80s.
Oh, look at it.
Is when MJ had that career-high 69-point game.
That was in the 80s?
89.
Wow, sure was. That's crazy, man. Listen, the 69 is insane, all right? And this happened in overtime.
Right.
But what always got me, Matt, was the 18 rebounds. That's what always got me, man. Because, again, this is a two-guard.
Right.
Okay? This is not what he does. But, my God, look at the field goal percentage. That is foolish. With the 4 steals and 6 assists, but he never passed the ball.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the free throw line at just a ridiculously high clip. That is insane scoring. What a crazy stat line, man. It's the rebounds that and the rest of the extra, things you put on your hamburger that is what's impressive to me.
Right. So Horace Grant was the second leading scorer in that game with 16.
Okay.
The rest of the Bulls combined, outside of MJ and Horace Grant, 32. And the Bulls won in OT 117-113. Do you want to hear John Paxson's stat line from that game?
God, why you feel so joyful about this? Oh my God!
Did I tell you that I needed to cheer myself up?
Okay, come on.
Do you want to hear John Paxson's stat line for that game?
For you, Matt, of course.
It's kind of Tony Snellish.
Oh,
it's a little Chris Dundonish.
So you want me to guess it then?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Here's what I'll give you. John Paxson in the MJ 69 game played 23 minutes.
In an overtime game.
In an overtime victory, he played 23 minutes.
23 minutes. All right. John Paxson had, if he's making Matt smile, he had no points, no rebounds. No, he had 1 rebound. No. John Paxson's tough. He had 1 rebound. He had 1 rebound, 2 assists, no steals, no blocks, 3 turnovers, and 4 fouls.
You were pretty close.
Damn. All right.
He did have 2 points on 1 of 4 from the field. He took 4 shots. MJ took 37. Egg rebounds.
Yes.
1 assist. Egg steals. Egg blocks. Got that. 2 turnovers, not 3. And the classic Chris Dunn 6 fouls.
Oh, he fouled out.
Hit the showers, Pax.
See, I knew it had to be something, man. Like him not being out the game or him not scoring is what's going to bring Matt joy in that sense. Oh, my God.
I mean,
what a crazy stat line. 2
zeros, 1s, and a 6er.
That's the binary.
Bless his heart.
Dude, I mean, he just murders the Cavaliers, bro,
Man.
during that era. Mike, I don't know what they did to him, But my goodness, man.
So this is one of several dominant games from MJ on March 28th calendar year, regardless of what year it was. Because do you know that the double nickel was also March 28th?
Wow.
MJ's 55 in the Garden.
Okay.
March 28, 1995.
Okay.
When he had 55 points.
Dig that.
Here's something for you.
Okay.
So I asked Cody and some of the other Cubs guys this when I got in earlier today. A little quiz for you. MJ played 8 games on March 28th throughout his Bulls career.
Okay.
8 games in 8 different years. He played on March 28th.
Gotcha.
What did he average points per game in those 8 games played on March 28th?
He averaged 33 points a game.
39.1.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And here's the kicker. One of those came in the 72-10 season, 95-96, so March 28th, 96. The Bulls won by 30+. MJ basically sat out the second half and only had 13 points because the Bulls were like, MJ, you can rest tonight.
Right.
If you take that out and average it across the other 7 games they played on March 28th, it was 43 points a game.
The man is insane. That is insane, man. Oh, my gosh.
March 28th.
What is it about that day? We got to find that out. What is it about? I don't know. But you're right, man. It's fun. The one I truly remember, obviously, is the double nickel one. That's the one I really, really do remember because just everything that was surrounding it and what was going into it. Because Mike had I believe it was either the game prior or it was a game or two ahead of it, but he hit that last second shot against the Atlanta Hawks. And I remember that. Top of the key, hit that last second shot. And then either the next game or a couple games later, he went insane. That double nickel, man. And all I kept getting was phone calls and friends like, dude, are you watching the game? Are you seeing what's happening? Do you know what's going on? Of course I'm watching the game, first of all. Yes, I'm seeing what's happening. It is this. I was going crazy, dog, because he was on fire. It was great to see.
AK with a great point. I bring this up all the time to, the 14-year-old bronzexuals on Twitter. MJ had 69 with hand checking.
Yes.
Imagine what he would score in today's NBA with the rules as they are.
He'd average 40.
169.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. No, it really would. It would be completely ridiculous, man, to not be able to touch that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To let that dude go off. We marvel at what we see DeRozan doing in the mid-range. Kawhi Leonard, we marvel at that stuff. That monster, assassin, serial killer person in Michael Jordan, look, man, it would not be nothing nice. In every game. It would be every game because he don't miss games. It would be every single game that would be going down. That would be insane.
Another piece of MJ's ridiculous scoring outpours.
Another piece.
Trivia. How many 50 or more point games did MJ have in his career?
How many 50 or
as a Bull?
As a Bull, okay. How many 50
because if you recall, he
games?
did it the one time for the Wizzies.
The Wizzy, a Wazzy. It's a Woozy.
It's a Wizzy, it's a Woozy.
It's very nice. 32.
39.
Oh,
MJ had 39 games scoring 50 or more as a Chicago Bull.
What's dumb about that?
That's ridiculous.
You know what's extra dumb is I'm like, it made me feel like I undersold Michael Jordan when I said 32 50-point games.
Right?
And I'm like, I feel like I'm shorting Mike here, a couple games. And I was shorting him by a lot.
Right. Or that when you guessed on a random day of the calendar year, his average was 33. And I was like, actually, no, you're 6 points shy on that.
No, it's more ridiculous than that. It's more dumb.
So
it's more silly.
Is the 69 your favorite on MJ when it comes to the huge scoring games? Is there a different one? A lot of people point to, obviously, the 63 points in the Boston Garden, which is on his injury-shortened season. Mm-hmm. He had come back and played a handful of regular season games on a minutes restriction, then goes into Boston Garden for the first playoff game and drops 63. Dumb.
He's dumb. All right, let me just say that. It's dumb. I think about that double nickel game. That definitely comes up. I think about what he did in the finals against Phoenix when he had that game in there. But probably the flu game was my big
which was short of 50. He had 40-something.
Yeah, like 40-something.
Yeah.
And he played like 43 minutes, which was dumb. And he had an incredible game. But it was that one because it shouldn't have been.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no human should be able to do those things. And speaking of no human not being able to do things, we can't do this without the GOAT!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's
There he
Gottlieb
is.
time.
Gottlieb!
Oh.
Segue Big Dave.
Thank you, sir. I got many talents,
heard it.
man. Got many
Another-
talents, Will. I got
Not
many.
going unnoticed.
Another friend to come cheer us up. It's Will
I
Gottlieb,
don't think
everybody.
he's-
Not a lot of cheer gonna go on.
I guess that's right. You just listened to Billy and the Bulls talk about how the hell they found a way to lose to the Knicks. Before we get to that, real quick, it was 55 against the Suns in 93, Dave.
Okay.
My favorite, 54 points against the Knicks in 93 in the conference finals.
yes.
Especially after all the talk about going down to Atlantic City and MJ's not focused and the Bulls were in an 0-2 hole. And MJ said, y'all really talking that shit?
I can go
Here's
to
a
Atlantic
50
City
burger.
and do this anyway.
Right.
Here's a 50 burger for you.
Take it with you. Enjoy it.
Oh,
Oh, always
God.
tastes good.
And then
going
that
down.
just reminded me that we lost to the Knicks tonight. Back to square one.
We got to stop hitting the seats.
I'm angry.
It all comes full
So
circle.
angry dudes. Gottlieb is here, sir. Marquet is happy Gottlieb is here.
Hey, Mark.
Let us tell you. So
Mark takes full credit for the Gottlieb nickname in the comment section. By the
And
way,
he should.
Yeah,
No, he rightfully so. But it was an all-time comment.
Except for my brother has been using that since high school, but this is the first time that anybody has called it me Gottlieb. So I appreciate that, Mark.
oh man,
But it is funny that you never need that. So you came up with it on your own. It just
we
had
learn.
also been-
This is what we do here.
So-
we learn about each other and we move on.
So what was said, Will?
Honestly, it was not. There wasn't any fiery emotion. There was no Matt Peck going full Hulk in the postgame presser. Believe it or not.
I was sitting right here.
People are frustrated. They're disappointed. I think the big thing for me is just the fact that they can't pick up any momentum. They win this great game against the Raptors last Monday, and then they lose to the Bucks by 30, and then they lose to the Pelicans.
Right.
And then they come back and they get a huge win against the Cavs. And now they dropped this game that, frankly, they should have won. I mean, they were right there at the end. They were up by like 12 or 15 in the first or second quarter. They can't drop these games. The margin for error is 0. They have one more game that is a non-playoff play-in team.
They have to win.
That's
it.
tomorrow night against Washington. They have to win that game.
Completely agree.
The schedule following that is like just insane. Like
Yeah.
they can't afford to do this anymore. And right now they're hanging on to the 5th seed by their tiebreaker.
By tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And then by one game against Cleveland. Yeah.
Holding on tight.
Hold on tight.
What players were available to speak?
Today was Billy briefly, and he kind of spoke about just the momentum and getting like mistakes and bad plays out of your mind. What was going on with Pat and the offensive rebounding, which was a huge issue tonight. Although I just went back and looked at some film, and I think the boxing out was actually okay. And then we heard from DeMar, and DeMar's he's like a very thoughtful guy, but sometimes he just speaks and doesn't really say anything.
Okay.
Like, that the momentum was getting messed up by mistakes on defense, but our offense was good. And, we only held them to 109 points, which is good, but we felt like we could have been a lot better. And then Pat came in and was talking about how quickly he's seeing the game and, if he's being sped up at all. And just like his transition back into the NBA rotation. And what's interesting is that if you remember, he was coming off the ankle injury entering the season. And so he was saying, this is like the first time I've been 100% healthy all year. So it really does feel like it's my 5th game. So that's
Wow.
kind of interesting. But he was the topic of conversation because he really did not crack the rotation tonight.
No.
He played 13 minutes,
Yeah.
wasn't in with the closing units, didn't take a shot. So he's got some stuff to work out, man. I mean, he should be. That's why they kept him. That's why they drafted him 4th overall. He's got to be a rotation player, and he's not looking like it right now.
I don't like the fact that Marquet's over there in Australia doing a little happy dance of "I told you so" after a couple of games. I still believe in Patrick Williams.
And it would be foolish
Was tonight
not
frustrating? Absolutely. He was a ghost. Yes, it
Thank
was
you, Jay.
frustrating for Jay too. Jay was sitting there saying, "Hey, where's Patrick Williams tonight? Why is he giving us a big old gopher?"
That's exactly
Nothing.
what he said. Word for word, bar for bar.
Jay
That's what he
Zwoski
said.
knows his Bulls basketball.
Knows it.
I think what's tough about the Pat situation is that, like, you want to give him time. He deserves time.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old. He's a prospect. And at the same time, they need to win now.
Yes.
And so you can't really have it both ways all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why I think people get frustrated. But at the end of the day, like, if whether or not he came back this season, right? Like, we weren't sure he was going to come back from this injury. Whether or not he came back, he was not going to be able to contribute at a super high level.
Right.
I think defensively, he really showed it the last couple of games. Like, he cannot switch out into Karis LeVert. That's why he got pulled. Tonight, he like was getting toasted by Alec Burks. Couldn't get over a screen. Like, he's just not there yet. He needs to learn how to position his body. He needs to get quicker. He needs to get stronger. And I don't like fault him for that. He's young.
Right. Well, and again, like, he was baptized by fire as a rookie and was sent out there to guard all kinds of amazing offensive talents
immediately
across the spectrum of guards, wings to bigs. And some nights he held his own, and some nights he got cooked. He's coming off of missing an entire season of what should have been year 2 of development.
True.
And that all of that development is gone / paused. And it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating.
And that's the first. Go ahead.
I was going to say pregame. What's that? I can't see it.
I'm saying someone said, "Who is the handsome guy in the glasses?" Yay!
It's Will Gottlieb. That's who it is.
That's who it is.
Was that Mark?
Yes.
Peter Parker over here.
Peter Parker. Yes, sir.
My spidey senses.
Tingling, baby.
Basically, pregame, Billy mentioned something similar to that about Io. Just the fact that he has been able to earn a ton of minutes, partially through injury, but also just the fact that he's, playing really well for most of the season, getting a ton of reps out there. And I think when you have a rookie season like that, where you're already a little bit more experienced, right? He came out at 22 years old and then got a ton of minutes during his rookie season. I think he's going to be primed for a pretty big jump next year, which is obviously huge for the Bulls and their depth.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks because Pat really never got that chance. And he's obviously much younger, but the fact that he was robbed of all those minutes, no pun intended there, because Mitch Robinson robbed him. I feel like that really kind of stunted his development, which is just a bummer.
Was there any talk about Kobe White in the game he had tonight?
No, he was never going to get.
I don't believe Kobe White played tonight.
They weren't gonna toss him to the Wolves, but yeah, he was terrible.
Why would you talk about a DNP in the post-game press conference?
That's a logical point.
Good Lord,
That's
Kobe.
a very logical point.
And like, what do you do with Kobe? I think this is like a point in the season where I'm looking back at the trade deadline and I'm thinking,
we were
Derrick
talking
Jones
about
Jr.
that while you were over there. Yeah.
Same.
Derrick
Jones Jr. hasn't played in weeks. Troy Brown Jr. hasn't played.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Both of those guys are expiring contracts. Troy's cap hold, I think, is $15 million. Derrick Jones is $9 million right now. Kobe White they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do with him contractually.
Yes.
And they could have moved one or some combination of those players for somebody who could help today. And who knows what's out there on the trade deadline? Who knows what's available? Obviously, teams are trying to get back talent, but I mean, expiring contracts are valuable. And now the Bulls are going to lose those guys in the offseason for nothing and not be able to get anything back because of how much they're going to have to spend on Zach and whatever other moves they make.
Got to.
Not ideal. Not ideal. We'll get to a few more of y'all's comments before we wrap out the show tonight. But one more quick word from our friends at PointsBet. Woo! If you guys enjoy what we're doing here at CHGO, one way that you could really help us out a lot and help us continue to grow is to download that PointsBet app and use that promo code CHGO when you sign up. Not only are you getting those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but if you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you also get a free annual membership to CHGO.
Yeah.
With exclusive content from Will, from Marquet, from everybody here at CHGO Sports who's rocking coverage on all of Chicago's teams.
Pecking order trademark.
That too. Look at that hulky guy. You could also get a free t-shirt from the CHGO locker, plus access to our members-only private Discord chats for channels for every team. It's all there.
Look at it.
And in case you missed it, online sign-up available in Illinois. You can download the PointsBet app right now. Register on your phone for an account, start to finish, all on your phone. It's really that easy. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. I don't have a gambling problem. I do have a Bulls losing to crap teams problem.
Can I just say something really quick?
PointsBet.
Oh, can you? Yes,
If you're watching along on YouTube, you just saw Joey, our producer, scrolling through the website.
Hey,
You
Joey.
see some of the articles that are up there and the shirts in the locker. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you should like and subscribe and come hang out with us because it's a video show and we want you to chill with us.
Look at Gottlieb,
Telling
a.k.a.
you.
Gottlieb,
Right.
chipping in
AKA
on the
handsome dude
promos.
in the glasses.
Also, if you're watching on Twitter, you could still see the video, but we're not getting your comments. So if you're watching on Twitter, come over and watch on YouTube so we can get you in on the comments.
Come on through.
Joey with the pitch.
Oh, he's good, man. He's good. I like
Picking
it.
up my
Gottlieb's got to take on a full ad at some point.
So now, the last time you were
Don't get your hopes up.
last time we had you guess Peck's anger meter. Can you guess what it is today?
Okay,
after a loss from
what
the
was
Knicks?
it last time?
Last time it was 7.2 after a win.
After the Cavs win, it was a
After a win.
7.2.
After a win. Now,
How did that happen, by the way?
Because he's Matt Peck. So
I
it was
attributed
higher
half
after-
of that rating to the Cavs, the game ops people, and the refs
Okay.
for the last half hour, a.k.a. 4 minutes.
But that
of
was
game.
significantly higher than
Significant.
the loss to the Pelicans. the
Hashtag
game
heart
before.
attack.
That was like a 4-2.
That was a 4-2, and that's when I
4-9.
thought it was 11.
Yeah.
because that should have been. That was a brutal game. I was pissed about that.
he can't stand the Knicks, and they lose the game to the Knicks that they had to have. So what
and
do you think?
I had to turn
his
up the
anger
volume
was?
on the computer
Smart man.
to hear the presser over
Smart
the yelling.
I feel like I've been fairly calm.
And
tonight.
remember before we even got there, the last thing Will says to me is, "Good luck with that out there."
Take care of yourself, Big Dave.
I'm a chore.
Honestly, right now you seem pretty tame. Maybe
I
you're
am
just spent.
bouncing
He's not. Yeah, he's
between
not.
loud rage, silent rage,
Yes.
and giggles to distract myself
yeah.
from the rage.
I mean, it's definitely higher than the 7 point whatever. Like at least a couple. I would go in the low 9s.
halfway up the
9.5.
nine.
Oh,
I was gonna say low to mid, but that's pretty good.
You're getting there.
I'm learning to read you
Yes,
better.
you're getting there. You're getting there, man. You're
I'm
getting
learning
there.
to read you better.
Good job. Well done.
Jock Bus in the comments. All I wanted was a competitive playoff exit, but the fact that we can't beat teams that aren't even going to make the playoffs is so disheartening.
We need a competitive
Yeah.
playoff entrance.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's the most frustrating part about all of it, right? You're losing to these elite teams. And I think we're all like, you know what? Yeah, okay. You're losing to the elite teams. We get it. You're losing to Phoenix, you're losing to the Bucks, you got like that. But when you get to games like Sacramento, and you're like, okay, you got to get this victory. You don't get it. You get to games like the New York Knicks, you're like, you got to get this victory, right? You don't get it. You play in Atlanta, a team you had beaten all season long. You took into the fourth quarter and you were up on. Got to get that victory, right? We got to have that one. You don't get it. Those are the ones that are the most deflating and the ones I think really, really, truly hurt Bulls.
And the thing that is so uncharacteristic about the Bulls is that they have been beating those teams all year.
Yes, correct.
Right now, after today's loss, they are 24-9 against sub 500 teams. They just lost to the Knicks. They just lost to the Pelicans.
Right.
24 it should have been 26-7, right?
Right. Seriously.
And we all know how they perform against the top teams, but 19-23 against teams greater than 500. So this was what was making them good before, is they were taking care of business when they needed to.
Right.
And they were
Taking care of business.
He's back, baby.
Couldn't help myself.
And they're, relatively competitive against the middle of the pack teams, and obviously did not do so well against the top teams. But they stopped taking care of business against the bad teams. It spirals, and that's what you're seeing. They're a sub 500 team right now.
AK in the comments. You can't drive on 9.5 levels. Friends don't let friends drive pecked. Big Dave, you got him? You got him? You give him a ride home
He'll
tonight?
be all right.
That's a shirt
He's
right
not-
there.
He's not driving.
That is a t-shirt right there.
That is a T-shirt. You got pecked. He's
well,
just been pecked.
I know somebody who's as mad as me tonight
Who's
because
this?
I got a missed call from Will Purdue.
Oh.
He only calls me when he wants to bitch and moan about how much the Bulls are pissing him off.
Rage. It's the only
I
time
will.
it's the only
Love
time
you,
he texts
buddy.
me too.
I'll
Like,
call you
will.
back later. Maybe not tonight because I am white hot with rage.
Yes. And that was a flex, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, small flats. I was going to say
Thank you,
something.
Joey.
yeah.
Thank you, Joey. That was a flex right there.
Not even ashamed.
You shouldn't be.
Every time Will
Not
Purdue
even
calls me,
mad.
I almost throw my phone away in surprise because Will Purdue is calling me.
How do you have happiness rage? How do you like, Will Purdue's calling me? Rah! How do you do
No,
that?
it's not rage, it's surprise. Like,
Nobody's surprised.
yeah. Phone jumps
What
out of
was
my hands.
what was the one after last game? Something relief.
The heart attack of relief.
Heart attack of relief.
Yes, the classic.
And today's
heart attack of
the
relief.
I
throw
still
your
stand
phone
by
out
that.
of anger.
Yes.
I still stand by that being a real thing.
Please stand by it.
Attack of
Never
relief.
leave it. Stand by it forever.
I think I saw Bobby in the comments saying, bring Marco up from G League. What do we have to lose at this point? The Bulls are playing with house. Do you think the Bulls are throwing in the towel?
You think they're 18
They
wins?
still are in the 5th seed,
They're still there.
playoff bound. Now,
Still there.
will they be there a week from now? I don't know, and it's not looking so great. But you think that they're just going to be like, well, season's over anyway, so we might as well call up a guy who we have already decided is nowhere near NBA ready and throw him to the Wolves. Because that'll be good for him and for us and for everybody.
Good for his
What
brand.
the hell kind of idea is that?
Thanks for saying that. You got some of that out of him.
Okay, I want to do this while we're all feeling some type of way after this loss.
Okay.
The Bulls have, I think, 7 more games. Wizards, Clippers, Heat, Bucks, Celtics, Hornets, Timberwolves. 7 games, 6 of them against playoff or play-in teams, 3 of them against top 4 teams in the East. What do we think they finish?
What are they, 43 and 33 now? 43 and 32?
In 32, I think.
43 and
I guess just out of these 7 games,
Right.
what do we think the record will be?
I think I would not
43
be
and 32
surprised for
right
them
now.
to finish 1 and 6 in these final 7 and finish 44 and 40. I would not at all be surprised to see that.
I mean, that's 7th seed for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure 7th seed if they do that. Just win one more game? Oh, man.
I mean, like, you look
They've
at this
got to
and
play
it's like,
Boston. They've got to play Milwaukee. They've got to play Heat.
Who are you beating?
Who are they beating? Hopefully Washington tomorrow.
Gotta
I
be
have no
Washington.
faith in them beating any of those other teams you just rattled off, including, as we mentioned in pregame, the Clips might have Paul George on Thursday.
They sure do. They
That's
might
a
have
very
him.
winnable game. If Paul George ain't there, suddenly becomes a worry game. And look, the Clips have been fighting like hell, to their credit, to stay relevant and in that playoff scenario in the
Very
West.
True. Very true.
think-
They can beat the Hornets. I'll say they win 3 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 or 4 seem like best
Yeah.
case scenario.
I'll say that. I'll say they win 3.
So do you think
I thought coming into this-
47 wins gets you the 5th seed?
Yes, I do. Yes, I'll stick by that. Yes.
He talked himself
Yes.
into it.
Yes. I had him at the 6th seed anyway. Sure. I'll take the 5th. Why not? Plead the 5th. Ow. There are so many amendments in the Constitution of the United States of America.
I hope we can get a game between now
I
and
can
when
only
the
choose
regular
one.
season ends. Playoffs? Playoffs?
I plead the 5th.
I mean, if they go 1 and 6, I think they're at risk of getting the 8th seed.
Cool.
that makes me happy. Thanks, Will.
That's why I wanted to do
You were
this.
going to do something positive. Like,
No, that's why I wanted to do this while people were in a bad mood.
Make them feel even worse.
I just wanted to at our lowest, and then we can revisit it when
Okay.
we're more level-headed tomorrow.
Okay.
And hopefully, after they win tomorrow night,
Yes.
we can get that one
game I
win
have them
and
winning,
then
yeah.
6 more, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Got to go game by game on it,
This
man.
team is falling apart.
Got to go game by game, baby.
Was there anything? I'm sure you guys talked about all this, but if there was anything that excited you, made you feel optimistic after this game?
No.
I mean, for me,
No.
Go
No.
ahead, Will.
for me, DeMar looked like DeMar
Beast.
again,
Yeah, he
and
beats
I mean, he's the fulcrum. He makes it all go.
it. Yeah, he did.
And you
12,
lost.
12 from the line.
To the Knicks.
That's the part he can't go. He hates the Knicks.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
bottom,
if I said that.
The bottom line is there's no sugarcoating it. It's terrible. But
No.
yeah, I mean, 64 points from 64 points from DeMar and Zach.
Mm-hmm. That's
22
excellent.
total free throw attempts from those two.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged by that.
I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, the Bulls get 37 and 27 from DeMar and Zach. Randall, goose egg. Knicks miss a zillion free throws,
Zillion.
and you find a way to lose that game.
Tough.
Dog shit.
Tough, man.
Pardon my
Six-
French. Dog shit.
6 of 23 from the 3-point line. That'll do
26,
it.
25%.
26%.
Tough.
That'll do it.
Tough work.
All
That'll
right,
do it.
let's go home. Let's go home. I want to go home.
Zero would be good.
I'm mad. I want to go home. Thanks to our producer, Joey, for hanging out with us here tonight. Remember, everybody, go sign up for that CHGO membership if you haven't already. Subscribe to this here YouTube channel if you aren't already. Hit that like button if you enjoyed tonight's episode. We so greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Will is on Twitter at Won't Gottlieb.
Whoa.
Dave is at Bow, BNWL Sports. I'm at Bulls_Peck. We collectively are CHGO_Bulls. I'm seeing green, not red tonight, and I am mad about it.
See green, be
Toss
bad.
that hat,
Knicks.
man.